Every great change begins with one small habit. Welcome to Narrative English. Here, stories help you improve your English naturally while inspiring you to grow. Have you ever walked into a messy room and instantly felt heavy, tired, or frustrated? Now, imagine your mind is that room. Every single day, your brain collects stress, regrets, overthinking, and the dirty laundry of other people's opinions. You can't see it, but you feel it. It piles up until you feel invisible, stuck, and exhausted. Most people shower every morning to clean their bodies, but when was the last time you cleaned your mind? Today, you are stepping into a new role. You are no longer a passenger in your own life, driven by the winds of stress. You are becoming the architect of the inner self. In this story, we are going to follow a man named Thomas. Thomas once felt his mind was a disaster zone, cluttered with the junk food of social media and the weight of yesterday. But he used 15 specific daily habits to rebuild his reality from the ground up. As you listen to his journey, you will do something most people never achieve. You will master your mindset and the English language at the exact same time. I have hidden some power phrases inside this narrative to help your vocabulary grow as your mind transforms. Stay with me until the very end, because the 15th habit is the master key. Without it, the other 14 are just words on a page. By the time this story ends, you won't just be listening to a video, you will be holding the key to your own inner power. Let's begin the build. The sun began to peek through the curtains of Thomas's small apartment. In the past, Thomas's first move was a reflex. He reached for his phone. Within 60 seconds, the outside world had already invaded his brain. He was scrolling through news of chaos, looking at carefully edited lives on Instagram, and feeling the first spark of comparison. He was pouring dirty water into a clean cup. But today was different. Let's jump to habit number 1. Thomas realized that when he first wakes up, his mind is like freshly fallen snow. It is pure. It is untouched. He decided that for the first 5 minutes, the world did not exist. He sat up on his bed, closed his eyes, and just breathed. He didn't check his to-do list. He didn't worry about work. He created inner space. This small habit acts like a daily reset for the nervous system. Now, let's learn some power phrases. Power phrase 1. Invade your mind. When unwanted thoughts or external noise enter your focus without permission. Power phrase 2. Freshly fallen snow. A metaphor for a mind that is clean, quiet, and ready for a new start. As Thomas sat in that silence, he noticed something strange. The small voice he usually ignored, his true self, began to whisper. It didn't shout. It didn't criticize. It just told him what he truly needed today. He felt a sense of serenity that no smartphone could ever provide. Now, time for habit number 2. Thomas knew that if he didn't tell his mind where to go, his emotions would drive the car for him. He became the captain of his ship. He stood in front of the mirror and said, "Today, I will stay calm, focused, and peaceful, no matter what." This was his compass. It protected his energy from the storms of the day. Time for habit 3. Thomas looked around his room and realized that his 5 senses were the gates to his mental garden. He asked himself, what kind of things am I letting in? If you see only poison, how can the garden bloom? He decided to be ruthless about his input. He deleted the apps that made him feel less than. He stopped listening to gossip, which he now saw as mental garbage. He chose vitamins for his mind instead, educational podcasts and peaceful music. He understood a deep truth. What you feed your senses becomes your thoughts, and your thoughts become your life. Learn about habit 4. Before he left for work, Thomas closed his eyes for 2 minutes. He didn't just think about success, he visualized it. He saw himself walking into his office with confidence. He saw himself speaking English fluently, answering questions smoothly in an interview. His brain couldn't tell the difference between the real and the imagined. By seeing it in his mind, he was preparing his hands to hold it. Now wait and think. Thomas noticed that even though he visualized, a dark thought would try to stop him sometimes. He didn't know yet that the 15th habit would be the only thing that could kill that thought forever. The habit number 15. Thomas noticed that his desk was covered in old papers and coffee cups. Those piles of stuff were silently whispering to him, "You are behind. You are overwhelmed." He realized that his external environment was a mirror of his internal world. He took 5 minutes to organize his desk. As he cleared the physical clutter, he felt a mental cleansing. A clean space was his invitation to slow down and breathe. Thomas stepped out into the world. The afternoon is where most people lose their peace. The noise gets louder, the pressure builds. But Thomas was the architect now. Time to learn habit number 6. At office, everyone was bragging about multitasking. Thomas saw the truth. Multitasking is a myth. It makes the mind scattered and uncontrollable. It's like a monkey jumping from one branch to another, never resting. Thomas used the single task rule. He closed all unnecessary tabs on his computer. He set a timer for 50 minutes and promised, "For this time, I will only do this one thing." 1 hour of pure focus was more powerful than 5 hours of broken work. He felt the satisfaction of completion. Now stop and learn 2 new power phrases. Power phrase 3, laser focus, to give 100% of your attention to a single point. Power phrase 4, satisfaction of completion, the positive signal your brain sends when you finish a task perfectly. Time for habit number 7. During lunch, a colleague made a rude comment on Thomas's project. Thomas felt the heat rise in his chest. His old impulse was to shout back, to return the poison. But he stopped. He remembered, my mind is a vehicle. Emotions are just passengers. Don't let them drive the car. He used his intelligence to observe the feeling. He asked himself, why should I lose my peace with their poison? By choosing his response instead of reacting, he kept his power. Learn about habit number 8. Later that day, Thomas had to give a presentation in English. A small negative voice inside whispered, "You will forget everything. People will laugh at your accent." This was a bully. Thomas didn't stay silent. He fought back like a smart fighter. He asked the critical question, is this thought 100% true? The answer was no. It was just fear. The moment he challenged the thought, it lost its power. Now here's an important part that's missing. Thomas was winning the battle, but he still felt a heaviness in his heart from years of these bullies. He needed the master key to heal the scars they left behind. Now let's learn habit number 9. A friend called and asked Thomas to help him move furniture that evening. Thomas was exhausted. He needed rest to maintain his mental foundation. In the past, he would have said yes and felt resentment all night. He realized that every yes to others was a no to his own peace. He practiced the art of saying no with grace. I can't commit to that right now, but thank you for asking. Saying no didn't make him selfish, it made him honest. His mind began to breathe. Learn about habit number 10. On his way home, Thomas felt a wave of boredom. Instead of reaching for his phone to kill time, he looked around. He noticed the way the light hit the trees. He asked himself a question about a building he passed every day. He decided to learn one new English idiom before he got home. Curiosity was like a fresh cup of coffee for his brain. It kept his mind young, active, and alive. Thomas returned to his clean, decluttered apartment. The world was still noisy outside, but inside, he was building a sanctuary. Time to disconnect, to reconnect. Thomas put his phone in a drawer. He realized that being always connected to the world made him disconnected from himself. He heard everyone else's voice, but he had forgotten how his own voice sounded. He took a sacred pause for 30 minutes. No screens, no notifications, just stillness. In that quiet,
he started to plug into himself. Habit number 12. Thomas sat by the window and reflected on the day. He thought about the colleague who was rude to him. He realized that unforgiveness is a poison that was living in his body, not the colleague's. He decided, I won't carry this weight into tomorrow. He wasn't saying what they did was okay. He was simply saying, I deserve peace. I released this. I am free. You can't drive forward while looking in the rearview mirror. Learn about habit number 13. A complaint rose in Thomas while he was studying English. He caught himself. He replaced the complaint with a gratitude statement. I am grateful I have the opportunity to learn a language that opens doors to the world. Complaints drain your energy. Gratitude fills your tank.
He listed 3 small things: a warm shower, a quiet room, and the progress he made today. Now learn these 2 more powerful phrases from this story. Power phrase 5, sacred pause. A dedicated time of silence used to reconnect with your inner world. Power phrase 6, fill your tank. To engage in activities or thoughts that give you energy and strength. It's time for habit number 14. Before bed, the monkey mind tried to start worrying about tomorrow's meetings. Thomas didn't fight the thoughts. He just returned to his breath. He felt the air enter his body and leave his body. He was grounding himself in the present moment. He realized that happiness is not something you chase, it's something you find when you stop running. Now the time has come. Thomas was calm, but he knew that tomorrow the world would try to clutter his mind again. He needed a way to make these changes permanent. He reached for his notebook. Learn about the last one. Habit number 15. This is the habit that changed everything for Thomas. He opened his journal. This was his daily detox. At this moment, Thomas didn't try to be positive. He was raw. He was honest. He wrote, Today I felt invisible. I felt like I wasn't good enough during my presentation. I felt lonely. He let the paper hold his pain. He understood that suppression leads to an emotional explosion, but expression leads to freedom. By naming the emotion, he was taming it. After the pain was out, he turned the page. He wrote, But I am proud of myself. I stayed calm when I was insulted. I focused for 50 minutes. I am becoming the architect. He was no longer a victim of his story. He was the author of it. This was the master key because it allowed him to take the mental trash out before he went to sleep. He woke up the next morning not with yesterday's weight, but with a fresh page. Thomas's English didn't just improve because he studied grammar. It improved because he silenced the noise that told him he couldn't do it. He became a fluent person in his mind before he ever spoke a word. I know that life can feel heavy. I know some days you want to give up. But I want you to know something very important. I believe in you. You are not broken. You are healing. You are growing. Your story is not over yet. Now, I'd like to leave you with one simple question. Which habit spoke to you the most? Perhaps it was learning to protect your peace. Perhaps it was letting go of the past. Or maybe, like Thomas, you've realized that your mind has been asking for silence all along. Whatever your answer is, I'd love for you to share it in the comments below. You never know who might read your words and feel a little less alone because of them. If this story brought you a little peace, a new English phrase, or simply a quiet moment in a busy day, I hope you'll continue this journey with me. There are many more stories waiting ahead, each one designed to help you grow your English while gently changing the way you see yourself and the world around you. Thomas's story doesn't end here. If you'd like to continue his journey, I will make another video on the next part of this story, and that will begin where this one ends. Remember, a peaceful mind is easy to keep in a quiet room. But what happens when life places a difficult person in front of you? In the next part of this story, Thomas is about to find out, and perhaps so are you. Until then, take care of your mind. It's where every story begins.